We will get to Ashley in just a moment. But as we said, Karen Drew is here, so why not talk to Karen? She sat down. She said, I am ready to go.
I'm ready to rock it.
Okay, so this Detroit Fire Department thing, we've got some firefighters who, there's a difference of legal limit of intoxication and then zero tolerance, because obviously you can't be drinking on the job. I'm not saying that's what they were doing, right? But
you could be drinking beforehand.
Exactly.
Right, they have long shifts.
Okay, so what have you found?
Well, there's a lot. So if we're going to tackle that, because I've got about 5 different issues within the Detroit Fire Department. And all of this is stuff that, you know, insiders are telling me. And they're hardworking firefighters who respect their job, respect their time, and want to keep people safe. So when they come to me with this, it's just like, we just want to make this better. So it's better for the public. So yes, we reported on that crash last week. You did. So there was a crash yesterday morning. We reported on that. We still don't know who's at fault. That's over there. And then we have the crash last week. And when I got the tip on that, they said, okay, we were going to run a alcohol test. And then the city said, we're going to follow up on that. And the city didn't share with us the results until my tipster told me. And so I tracked down the commissioner. He was willing to talk, which is nice. We appreciate that. And we said, yeah, you had this crash last week, and what happened? And he did confirm that the driver of the truck did have alcohol in his system. They have a zero tolerance. What's important about this, any crash is worrisome. This crash, a firefighter was injured and a civilian. And when it comes down to that, your job is to be a rescue person, to be a hero, and you're driving this huge truck with alcohol in your system.
That could be horrific. In fact, we've got your entire story we can watch right now.
We've got a crash, and a civilian's injured. You said you were going to do a test of the driver. Comes back and fails the alcohol test.
That's correct.
What's your reaction to that?
Oh, I'm very upset at that. However, I would say that his alcohol content came below the legal limit, but there's a zero tolerance on the Detroit Fire Department. We hold our members at a higher standard, and so any alcohol at all in your system, you will be discharged.
And look at this. This was the scene this morning. Another crash involving a fire truck on Houston and Whittier. We're still waiting to find out who's at fault on that one. Then, later today, an insider tips me off, and the commissioner confirms there has been at least 2 cases involving members of Detroit Fire getting caught defrauding the system, collecting money they did not earn. One was fired, the other still on the job tonight.
Some of the people that are bringing their concerns to me, they are concerned that there is an abuse of the system. There is fraud. What is being done right now to stop this? Because it's a problem.
So I would tell you what was done a year ago. So I brought in a payroll manager, and she's excellent, and she runs audits every payroll.
Your system's catching them, but it's not preventing them.
It will prevent for anyone in the future. Yes. It will definitely will prevent. I'm very confident.
You said you'll make a decision in the next 7 days. Will you inform us of that decision and send us a comment?
I'm quite sure you guys will hear it somehow, but yes.
But I would like to hear your comment on what the decision is and whatever your decision is.
Okay. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay, so where do we stand then?
Okay, so when I said make a decision, that is about the individual that is accused of this fraud, that particular individual. Lieutenant, I shared, Detroit Police Internal Affairs did an investigation. They found substantial evidence to show that this fraud has occurred, and they have a monetary gain of getting paid for time that wasn't worked. And when we talk about that, that's taxpayer dollars. So this memo from Internal Affairs came out June 4th. So I said to the commissioner, this memo from Internal Affairs said this person is, has the evidence for fraud. What are we doing? And he explained to me that this person had experience and knowledge in the arson unit, and he wants to make sure that all these cases are handed down to the right people and everything's put in order. That's his story. The firefighters are like, if Internal Affairs said that you illegally took money, then we should take some action. So I appreciated the commissioner saying that he was committed to making a decision, hopefully within the next 7 days, saying he will share that information with us. So that's the fraud. Now, meantime, did confirm there was another person a year earlier. So I give them credit for bringing this person in to do the audits, but it's still going on.
And it's to your point, or to your credit, you said, and you kind of called them out there saying, well, yeah, you might be able to catch them after the fact, but how do you stop this from happening?
And that's what we need to do. So they did say they were bringing in a system where they're going to use their badges almost for a check-in. So I start my shift here. They didn't really give many details on what the system was before, but clearly the system before wasn't working. And as we say, if 2 people are caught and busted, They weren't the only two people,
Right.
you know, and when it comes down to it, it's our money.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that could be used for more fire trucks,
Right.
for equipment for the
Right.
fireboat that hasn't been working.
For more training, as
For
you
more-
mentioned earlier, right?
Well, that was what they said. So I was saying, okay, you got 2 crashes in 2 weeks. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, when I was doing my story, I got a text with photos. Another crash had occurred. So I can't even keep up with these crashes. So
Right.
what's going on? The people that are working in the department tell me that they need more training. So they do a virtual training, and they also do something on the street. But from what I'm hearing, and this is just, you know, that they just feel like they're younger drivers, they need more experience.
Yeah.
The one that got into the crash last week was, I want to say, less than 3 months driving the truck. So if this is an issue, let's take a
address
closer
it.
look at it.
Right,
So when I
right.
did talk with Mr. Sims, he said, okay, if they want more training, we'll do more training. So I
Okay.
said, okay, well, let's see what happens.
Show me the documents that's happening.
Yeah,
right.
so we
What I
need
love-
more training.
What I love about this, too, is that it's firefighters coming to you because they don't want a shadow cast across the entire department.
They take pride in their job.
Of course, right.
Right? And, you know, I've been in this community reporting for 27 years. I've built my reputation on you know, caring about those individuals and reporting the facts. And sometimes I think people think like, oh, she's just yelling at the fire department. You know what I mean?
We're asking
but it's like,
questions.
no, I've been here long enough where these firefighters and these insiders know they can trust me
Right.
to bring up their concerns. And it's not a us versus them. It's like, let's make the
No,
system better.
right. It's
Clearly,
how can we help?
yeah, we need better training, and obviously we need a better system to keep
Right,
track of the
right,
dollars.
Right,
So-
because let's be honest, sometimes change doesn't happen until things are brought to light.
And that's true.
Right.
So, and I will tell you, I got 3 tips from my story yesterday. So there's more to report.
There's more, too.
I'll stay on top of it.
All right, well, you keep
know.
coming back in here then.
It's nice to see you in the morning here.
We're just hanging out.
How's it going?
We're calling this Nick's Nook.
Nick's, oh, I like that. Can we make a little t-shirt?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm all into t-shirts.
All right, Gary, thank you so much.
Good to see you.